EVs under $50,000 of the 2024 GWM Ora vs BYD Atto 3 vs MG ZS Spec Comparison. The GWM Ora EV has just launched in Australia. How do its specs line up next to another pair of sub-$50,000 EVs? The proliferation of electric suburban runabouts from China is revolutionizing Australia's nascent EV market. While Tesla dominates, not everyone can afford to shell out $65,000 or more. But the trio of models on test sneak in below $50,000 drive away in most parts of Australia. Granted, that isn't cheap. But with the rebates and tax breaks on offer, and the cheaper cost of electricity than petrol, they do stack up as potentially great solutions for some people. The MG ZS EV recently received a facelift and the company is selling everything it can bring here. In 2021 it was Australia's number 2 EV, but this slipped to 5th in 2022. BYD is widely seen as China's answer to Tesla, and its Atto 3 is making waves. It was Australia's top selling non-Tesla EV in 2022 despite only being on sale a few months, and a few growing pains for its distributor. The third car in this spec comparison only hit the market this week. The Ora is made by Great Wall Motor, GWM, which also owns the GWM Ute, GWM Haval, and GWM Tank brands. If you're wondering whether these vehicles are safe bets, both MG and GWM are regular top 10 brands in the Australian market, and BYD is the world's second biggest maker of EVs. For some broader context, sales of electric cars across Australia nearly doubled in 2022 to 33,410 vehicles, equal to about 3% of the total new vehicle market. Prices. You can drive away in all three of these, in most parts of Australia, for under $50,000. Each of these entry grades are rated to travel more than 300 kilometers on a charge. The BYD Atto 3 standard range costs $48,011 before on-road costs. You can then option the extended range for a further $3,000, adding about 75 kilometers of driving range for $51,011. The GWM Ora kicks off at $43,990 before on-road costs. The extended range costs a further $4,000. At $47,990, but in this case it adds 110 kilometers more driving range, while the GT feature upgrade adds a further $6,000, taking it to $53,990. The MG ZS Excite variant is $44,990 before on-road costs. There's just the one battery option for now, but you can get a better equipped Essence version for another $4,000, at $48,990. We'd note MG is about to launch a longer range Model 2, with a rough $5,000 premium. Full range list prices. BYD Atto 3. Standard range, $48,011. Extended range, $51,011. GWM Ora. Base, $43,990. Extended range, $47,990. Extended range GT, $53,990. MG ZS EV. Excite, $44,990. Essence, $48,990. Long range, price TBC. Drivetrains. There are some definite similarities here, notably the use of cheaper, more stable but less energy-dense lithium iron phosphate (LFP) material for the cathodes in most cases. The BYD Atto 3 uses LFP batteries called BYD Blade with either 50 kWh or 60 kWh capacity. They can be charged at 7 kW AC and 70 to 80 kWh DC, and offer a claimed driving range of 345 km standard and 420 km extended on the WLTP cycle. The battery powers a 150 kilowatts and 310 Nm front-wheel motor sufficient for a 0 to 100 km/h time of 7.3 seconds with either battery, despite the weight differential. The GWM Ora's standard range battery is a 48 kWh LFP and its extended range 64 kWh uses more conventional nickel, manganese, and cobalt, NMC, cathode materials. GWM doesn't publish charging speeds, but Electric Vehicle Database says 11 kilowatts AC or 64 to 67 kilowatt-hour DC. The battery powers a 126 kilowatts and 250 Newton-meters front motor with a claimed 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 8.3 seconds. The Ora is a little smaller and lighter, offsetting its lower power. The MG ZS EV only has the one battery option, a 50 kilowatt-hours LFP offering 320 kilometers range, with charging speeds of 11 kilowatts AC and 80 kilowatts DC. The front motor makes 130 kilowatts and 280 Newton meters, giving the car an 8.2 second 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time. But shortly MG will expand on this with the longer range model using a 72 kilowatt-hour battery offering a 440 kilometers driving range. Dimensions. The BYD is the biggest vehicle here with the most capacious boot and the longest wheelbase, with the GWM and MG very close in dimensions, aside from a sizable boot difference. Safety. Both the BYD and GWM have 5-star ANCAP crash test scores and long lists of driver assist aids. As the table below shows, only the MG ZS Essence gets the full suite. Strangely, the pre-update MG ZS EV had a 5-star score which was not carried over. MG is understood to be working with ANCAP on an updated score. Cabins. BYD Atto 3. The BYD clearly has the best touchscreen here. It's 12.8 inches across and operates in both landscape and portrait forms by spinning electrically on demand. While it lacked both satellite navigation and Apple CarPlay at launch, BYD has since rolled both out in software over-the-air (OTA) updates via in-car SIM. Wireless Android Auto is slated to roll out OTA between April and June. Other standard fare includes a 360-degree camera, Dirac 8-speaker HD sound system, digital and FM radio, a voice assistant, inbuilt Spotify for USB ports, and a forward-view driving recorder or dashcam. The power-adjustable and heated seats are trimmed in perforated synthetic leather trim colored blue and cream with red piping. In place of a traditional instrument cluster is a 5.0-inch screen perched atop the column. The back seats benefit from a flat EV floor and are adult-friendly. The tailgate is powered by the press of a button, and there's a 440-liter boot. GWM Ora. A little like the BYD, the GWM Ora's interior as pictured makes use of blue and cream inside, which love or hate is certainly different to the norm. The touchscreen is 10.25 inches in landscape orientation, with phone mirroring and a 360-degree camera view. It's mated to another 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster. The powered, leatherette seats are trimmed with a diamond pattern, while the doors are trimmed in the same faux leather and suede combination as the fronts. Mini-aping toggle switches below the air vents add a touch of flair. Rear seat space offers sufficient legroom and enough headroom for lanky teenagers to sit comfortably without scraping their heads on the roof, enabled by the EV platform. Although it's smaller than a VW Golf on the outside, the Ora feels similarly spacious in the second row. The boot has suffered, however. It's a bit of a letterbox, with a significant loading lip and low floor, and just 228L capacity. MG ZS EV. The 10.0-inch touchscreen comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, digital radio and FM, satellite navigation, and a surround view camera. The Essence adds a wireless charger and 6-speaker audio. Behind the wheel sits a digital instrument cluster. The steering wheel looks great with red stitching and perforated hand grips, but it doesn't feel all that premium and lacks telescopic reach adjustment, it only moves up and down. This base model comes with manually adjustable seats trimmed in funky fabric, offering pretty good thigh and side bolstering for support in corners, whereas the Essence has heated leatherette. It also adds the panoramic sunroof. Despite the fact this is the sole vehicle here that also comes as an ICE car, my 194 cm frame still has plenty of leg and headspace behind my preferred driving position. The boot capacity is 359 liters, about the same as a typical hatchback, but inferior to the BYD. Warranty and charging. BYD Atto 3. Warranty, 6 years or 150,000 kilometers. Roadside assist, 12 months. GWM Ora. Warranty, 7 years, unlimited mileage. Roadside assist, 5 years. ZS. Warranty, 7 years, unlimited mileage. Roadside assist, 7 years.